Today,
I broke it to him last night. We were meeting yesterday late afternoon, and I told him about it. And then, I came back this afternoon and just talked a little bit, just the overall without getting specific about anything. And, they understand the severity of this. They also understand Caruso is a kid that's done a lot of good things around here. Worked extremely hard. It was, a lot of emotions. I'm the same exact way, and that's how I started it out. I said, I stand up here today, a lot of things, a lot of emotions myself. I feel a lot of things. Some ways I feel responsible. Some ways I feel angry. Some ways I feel sad. That's the reality of it. It's a big deal. We understand the severity of it. All of our players understand the severity, and I think that's how we approached it.
Coach, what have you advised your players on in terms of expressing those emotions properly out there, given the severity of this?
Yeah, I think again, I think that's why they call it a team meeting. That's why you are a team. I think a team really, in essence, is a family. And just like in any family situation, my message is kept to that family. So I'm sure you can understand that. I'm sure all you guys can.
Coach, we saw one of your players, Damian Gamblin, go on Twitter defending Caruso pretty vigorously here, talking about he's going to beat this. Have you seen that? Are you aware of that?
I haven't, but we monitor that Twitter pretty quick. Obviously you guys monitored it a little bit before I did. And I think that's a natural reaction by players. I think everybody is hoping this thing gets resolved in a positive way. But again, these are young guys that care for each other a lot. They've invested a lot. And, I can understand why Damian Gamblin did that. But, I'm certainly going to address that. I talked to him about last night about everything we say needs to be said in our meeting room together as a team. So, yeah, I can understand him saying that, and we'll address it.
Coach, what does this do for the depth at the running back position with this suspension? It's obviously going to be pretty big.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest, I think it would be inappropriate for me right now to take this right to the football end of it. To be quite honest, there's some young people's lives that potentially can be changed forever over this. And I just hate to go right away. What does this mean for our football team? What does this mean for our offense? What does this mean for the running back position? I'm uncomfortable doing that. I think this is all bigger than that.
Coach, have you been in this kind of a situation before?
Unfortunately, yeah. I think anybody that's been involved with young people as long as I have, certainly other members of our staff. And that's what's always frustrating because, you do a lot of things to try to prepare people for real life situations. And, the fact that somebody was close enough to some kind of event that transpired the way it did to cause this kind of accusation, I take that very seriously, and I'm experienced, and I've been in other situations like this. And I also know that nothing's resolved until it's resolved, and that's why I hold judgment and hold my opinion as to the outcome.
Talking a little football.
Yeah.
Marcus Lopez, he's made a few plays.
He has.
How's he?
He's doing good. He's another 150-pound guy. I think he came in here. He might have been 147, but remarkable high school career, remarkable academic high school career as well. He's getting stronger. I think he's another story of a New Mexico high school kid that, with maturity, with some age, some experience in this program, he may be a guy at some point is out there and plays some football for us.
You've had Magnan and Reese White
come
on and earn scholarships and play for you.
Yeah.
He could possibly be another.
I think he could be. Yeah, Ricky, he really does have some playmaking ability. You watch him on high school tape, he was really a good high school player. We were able to take him to Ruidoso last year, and he got a head start, and he has gained some weight. He's got some good skills. He's just really small, but so is Carlos Wiggins and so is Ridge Jones. So I'm glad he's around here.
Coach, talking about the defense, how do you feel they've improved not only from the first week of spring, but from this past fall?
It's again, I mean, you get in a little bit of a comfort zone on defense because you're going against the same offense every day. And so much of defense is just recognition and seeing things and reacting to things faster. So, I'm not ready to, like I said before, say we're the Pittsburgh Steelers of the late 70s, that kind of defense. But I think we're better. I think we're more explosive. I think there's more of an aggressive just attitude. I think kids enjoy playing. I think our coaching staff's done a really good job of just putting their personality on this. Anyone who's watched us practice would look at our 4 defensive coaches and say, what, those guys get after it pretty good. And I think our football, our defense right now is starting to take that personality as well. So I'm anxious to see. I really do think we have a chance to build this defense right now long term.
Talking about that physical mentality, was that brought along just by all the coaches or in Cosgrove?
Pardon me?
The physical mentality.
Well, I think it's a lot of things. It really is. I mean, it's a lot of things, and it's been a lot of time, and we're certainly not there yet. Obviously, it's being able to scrimmage and go full speed. I mean, you see the competitiveness, you see the toughness start to develop. It's having some depth, and it's having some better players, to be honest. So it's a again, the word process probably gets overused, but particularly on defense. Rick's heard me talk about this forever. It's a process, and but I right now do feel like we're gaining on it. And as I said, for the long term, I don't feel like it's putting a Band-Aid on it. Like, okay, we're going to have this guy for a year, and maybe we can plug him in here and get through. I think there's some good young players in this program now, and I'll be disappointed, really disappointed, if we don't see results.
You said about halfway through the spring that Nick Lehman had been invisible almost, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's starting to make plays. Does that continue?
Yeah, he actually he made a play out there today. A little bit, yeah. Lehman's starting to, again, these junior college kids that come in, I mean, you take for granted what a transition that is. And that's why it's so important they're here in the spring. We do have some guys coming in the summer that I'm concerned about just because, they need every rep. But yeah, he's starting to be more comfortable. I think he's got a great role model in Reese White. I think Reese White has really become, maybe our most consistent offensive player. I mean, Reese White has really become a good football player. He's an A to B guy every time the ball snaps. So, he's got a good role model there to learn from, I think. And Edling's that kind of guy too. So, we're not the most athletic at tight end across the board, but we got some guys I think that'll be able to do some good things.
I understand your apprehension of talking about Caruso's situation there, but even before all that, I was interested on doing a piece on the running backs and kind of how they've developed.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the guys, how they're coming along?
Yeah, obviously Jarrell Presley we held out the entire spring. Terrion Gibson has probably been the flashiest. He's gotten the most carries. If you were out here Saturday and watched us scrimmage, he's kind of a remarkable little guy. That he hits it up in there. He's really tough and he's really physical. So I think Terrion Gibson, if you just said, okay, who stands out this spring, it would be Terrion, because he's the flashiest. Romel Jordan, a young guy from here in town, is not far behind Terrion. We got little number 7 and little number 4. They do some of the same things. And then, Caruso's the big, the only real power back we have, particularly with Jarrell Presley not here. And then David Anaya is kind of the guy that does it all. He doesn't do anything where you just say, wow, but he's consistent. So, again, I mean, just like the quarterback position, I mean, you need some depth when the quarterback and tailback touch it as many times as we do. And it's, it's obviously a bit of concern right now, the depth with it.
And I know you've talked about it before, but, just, again, losing Casey,
yeah, you're using a guy that, hasn't been many backs around here, if any, right, that have had 300-yard games. I don't know how many he ended up with. Casey's, hurt Casey. Casey didn't play the last part of the season for us. So we saw what that was. We kind of saw life after Casey going to Fresno and going to Boise, and we saw how that worked out. So yeah, I mean that's a significant blow, and we got some young guys coming in. We got some guys here we're excited to see, but that's why I say so much of our attention's been spent, and so much of the conversation is about our defense. Our offense has a big challenge this spring as well.
Is it still going to be Obviously, without giving too much away, but it's still going to be a lot of focal point with being able to carry the ball. That's going to be a huge focal point in the offense to carry the ball.
That's what we do. I don't think we're going to be. Although I'll say today, just on today's practice, we probably threw it and caught it as good as we have this spring. We kind of bounced back from Saturday a little bit offensively, but yeah, there's no secret. That's what we do. So yeah, we need a lot of running backs.
Coach, as far as specialists, we know we have Romero coming back.
Yeah.
How's the search going for Ben's replacement? For
Zach Rogers has. I think he's seen the opportunity there, and he really has turned himself into, I think, a pretty adequate punter right now. I've been really pleased with him. It may have taken a little bit of a toll on his place kicking. He struggled a little bit Saturday. He was 2 for 5 in live field goals. He bounced back today. Zach Rogers probably entering the spring was more of a kicker than a punter. All of a sudden he's emerged as maybe more of a punter than a kicker. He's our guy right now, to be quite honest. If we played today, he would punt and kick for us.
And for Justice and the place kicking duties? As far as for Justice Adams?
Yeah, again, Zach Rogers is ahead of it. We've got a young walk-on named V-Hill that is left-footed that has some talent. Gets the ball up pretty quickly. He has some good hang time. I would say Zach's still just ahead of him because we just trust him a little bit more because Zach's been around here. Maybe the only kicker, I don't know, you have to research this, but state heavyweight wrestling champion here in New Mexico. I don't know how many kickers were state heavyweight, or not heavyweight, state wrestling champions, along with Anaya. We have Anaya and Zach Rogers are state champions. But yeah, we've got a young guy coming in that was a kicker and a punter from California. It's an area concern. We lost Ben Scare, who I think is as good as there is. Okay, man.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.